showtime.
And here we go, Game 3, Razer TSL, round of 8. We have Draco against White-rA. Score is tied up, 1 win to 1 win. And we have Draco starting out as the white Protoss in the bottom left of the map. Meanwhile, White-rA in the top right of the map. It is a 2-player map, so they know where each other are. And this is going to be really exciting. I can't wait to see what they do after the pretty standard opening on Bluestorm, which, as we have said, is the 2-gate Zealots into Expand. I mean, everyone does that opening. It's just so strong here. You can't really... It's too long a map to, run around with Dragoons because of that little tiny choke. So, that's basically what we're expecting to see here. But after that, how it diverges, who knows? That is the exciting part.
And of course, with only Zealots, it'll be interesting to see if either player can keep their scouting probe alive long enough. Both those games have kind of been dictated by the scouting probe being taken out fairly quickly and one player taking blind. So I want to see how this goes. They're both going to probably know what the other player is doing, and we'll have to see if which one reacts more appropriately, who takes the first risk, whose mechanics are stronger. This is probably going to be the telltale match or game of the match.
Yeah, I think that this has to favor Draco, who's been in Korea, of course. In Korea, you train like 14 hours a day, constantly doing your mechanics. Your mechanics, of course, being, macroing over and over, getting your build order right on and that type of thing. And, in the Protoss vs. Protoss matchup, that counts for a whole lot. And we saw Draco versus Cloud on this map, and his mechanical advantage over a player who hadn't had the opportunity to train in Korea was just astounding. I mean, he just got a ton of units, he got them quick, and that's really going to help him out in this very important match.
Yep, for sure. We can see, actually, looks like White-rA got a later first gateway, but a faster second gateway, so I don't really think that's going to play too much of an effect, but it is interesting to see, even though they're going for the same build order, a little divergence right there already.
Yeah, but it's not going to turn out to be too much. As we said, you see the 2 gates going up. There's not going to be any gas for a little bit unless someone does something really wild. And this is just such an important game that I wouldn't be surprised at all if White-rA has something planned for this game, because he had access to the replay of Draco versus Cloud. So knowing how common this build order is here, why not have something prepared against such a strong player as Draco? I don't know, that's just my guess on White-rA's thinking.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have to see if he decides to play into that, or if he's trying to just get ahead through straight up play. We can see both scouting probes being kept alive nicely, no hits on either. As I say that, White-rA gets a hit on Draco's probe and a second hit, so one more hit and that probe's going to be dead. And that will be huge. I mean, they both pretty much know it's going to be 2-gate expand, but you don't want to lose that scouting probe. And we can see White-rA doing a good job of only chasing that with one zealot and trying to cut it off with the other 2, but of course Draco having none of that.
Indeed, White-rA here playing like it's the OSL finals. He's splitting up his zealots, trying his hardest, sweat on his forehead, trying to get that probe as best he can, and a pylon going down. In the natural here, it's going to block the Nexus, but he attacks immediately with the 3 Zealots to make it cancel. So really, that didn't really help at all, Draco. Sorry, buddy. And White-rA looks like he's going down. He's going to make that Nexus, but Draco's Nexus down at his natural, going up first because of that mana pylon, just delaying it a little bit.
We can see Draco actually had his supply higher than White-rA. It still is higher, 31 versus 30. Now Draco at 32. So just those little deviations in the build order. I mean, if you delay those zealots a little bit to get an extra probe, or if you manage to get or miss a probe timing, those can really hurt you, especially in a mirror matchup like Protoss vs. Protoss. We can see gas going down for Draco and White-rA. White-rA slightly quicker. Both probes still alive. Cybernetics core started for White-rA. So just really standard play so far. As we keep saying it, we're gonna have to wait to see once the expansions are up and mining at full capacity, that's when we're going to see some deviations, and that's when we're going to start to see the action pick up.
It is, and you know, normally in a PvP, one player on this map will go a lot of speed zealots, because through these little chokes, you know, you can rally almost instantly. You know, the zealots run right through, and you can reinforce your battles in the middle, on their side, anywhere you want on the map, basically, without the AI messing up, if you go for a higher contingent of speed zealots. And meanwhile, the other person will probably see the speed zealots and say, you know what, I'm going to try to counter this. Maybe I'll add in some archons, maybe a little bit more goons. So I'm interested to see who is going to take which route. Maybe they won't deviate at all. Maybe they'll do the same exact thing. But you know, how that plays out is really telling to a player's character. Do they want to be the person who counters, or do they want to be the person who is on top of things and decides the flow of the game?
Yeah, for sure. We can see range just starting for Draco, and White-rA has not started range. He actually has quite a few minerals. He was up to 500, so he's now got it down. And we can see he's actually added a Citadel of a Dune, and both players are actually taking their natural gases very quickly, which is a little strange. We can see White-rA is probably doing it. I don't know if this is going to be for Dark Templar, the Citadel, or if he is doing the Speed Zealot that Artosis just mentioned. But we can see 3 gates down for both players, and we'll be able to see in under a minute which player is taking which route, as Draco adds a 4th gateway actually.
Indeed, and Draco, he does have that Dragoon range upgrading, meanwhile White-rA does not, so I think that what we're going to see is the Speed Zealots out of White-rA, and the more Dragoon heavy army out of Draco. So that's pretty interesting to see. Draco, he wants to counter what White-rA is doing here. Now he's adding a 5th gate, so we're going to see a huge amount of units out of White-rA. I mean, rather Draco. And White-rA is still sitting on 3 gates. It looks like he may be going for a much quicker attack. He is getting that Templar Archives, though. And still, Draco, he has no form of detection yet. He is getting a Citadel of his own, but no Forge, as well as no Robo. And there we go. The Robo goes up near his Nexus, so looks like he will be safe from any Dark Templars. But with that quick second gas, I'm sure that we're going to be seeing High Templars out of White-rA as well.
Yeah, of course drops are just so strong on this map. The natural expansion has these cliffs surrounding them, and those shuttles just basically appear out of nowhere from those cliffs. You don't have vision of the high ground, of course, in StarCraft, so when those High Templar get dropped out and Psystorm those probes, that is devastating. So if we see a quick High Templar drop, that should be devastating, but unfortunately for White-rA, he does have 2 Dark Templar coming, and a shuttle, and we'll have to see the timing on this robotics facility from Draco, but I have a feeling the observatory will be done in time.
It will be done, but if he gets those DTs in, you know, walks them around, they are invisible, so Draco may not see them. If he gets in there and starts attacking some probes, of course, they kill probes in 1 hit, so he will not get any warning messages. So Draco's going to have to be checking back and forth at his probe lines, making sure that there are no little, you know, wiggly mirages destroying all of his probes.
You can see actually Zealot speed at this point for White-rA. He has quite a few Zealots, whereas Draco, basically 50-50 split on Dragoons and Zealots, sitting above his third expansion, which he is taking now. There's a probe there going to be making a Nexus very soon. And the observatory is finished, and an observer is making. So we can see a Dark Templar drop in Draco's main. 2 Dark Templar moving in towards that probe line. That observer is going to finish basically in perfect timing. It's just going to be a matter of if these Dark Templar get scouted by Draco. We'll have to see how many kills it gets. These Dark Templar, right now we see no reaction from Draco. He now is running his probes, so he's clearly responded. He realizes that's happening, moving his army. He's trying to cut off this 3rd Dark Templar coming in at the natural. That Dark Templar is having a field day. 4 kills, 5 kills, 6 kills on that Dark Templar, and the other 2 in the main now get caught by the observer. 8 kills on one of those, 9 at the natural, 10. Those are all probes, so 11 kills for White-rA on that 1 Dark Templar, and I believe it was 8 on the other 2. There's another one still in the main with 7 kills, so that's a ton of probe kills. So White-rA's build clearly paid off. We're going to have to see if Draco can respond. I'm being told that was 20 kills total. Wow.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, wow. White-rA just killed 20 of Draco's probes. They have the same amount of bases. So right now, White-rA, if he just plays a very strong macro game here, it's going to be very hard for Draco to do anything. And now we see they're both getting ready, going towards the center of the map. Draco looks like he may have a little bit larger army, going right across. He's angry, running right into White-rA's units here. And will he pull back? Yes, it looks like he is pulling back. He doesn't want to engage right there, low ground against high ground. Pulls back to his high ground. Will he turn around? Yes, he does. But White-rA does not care. He starts attacking. Zealots all over it, hitting... Oh my god. A lot of Zealots dying for Draco here. And White-rA getting in to hit the goons with the Zealots. That is a bad thing for Draco. And he is pushing Draco right back. White-rA right now, he's really emancipating his lead here. Look at this. He's got 111 supply against 84 supply. And he's just pounding up this hill. His extra speed Zealots taking a ton of hits from these Dragoons. And the Dragoons being pushed back and back and back. Meanwhile, Draco has taken his third. And there's no way he's going to hold against this. White-rA is going to walk right up and just destroy this Nexus. Draco knows that he pulls away all his probes from there. He does not want to lose any more probes. And here we go. He's going to re-engage. He's got an Archon now, Draco does. A High Templar coming out, and a nice size storm right on about 4 goons. But White-rA doesn't even care. He doesn't even move them. And we can see at White-rA's natural, he's got 5 goons that are messed up on AI. He didn't have his rally points set right, but he does have some Zealots sneaking right through. And he's just pushing Draco back now. Pushing him right back into his natural. Draco with very few units left here. Looks like Draco is going to lose here pretty quickly if he does not do something quick. And a lot of DTs coming out, plowing through these Zealots. Does White-rA have an observer here? I'm not sure, because oh my, look at this. A lot of Dragoons going down. These DTs absolutely cleaning up this attack.
Wow, what timing on those Dark Templar. Here comes the observer, but of course it's useless without units being able to kill the Dark Templar. Only a few Zealots left. A Dragoon gets taken out. And of course these Dark Templar are basically Zealots who deal 40 damage, so that's pretty silly. But they're going to cut down White-rA's army. But here comes another army. Wow, White-rA is building this army up huge so quickly. And he's going to push in. Excellent Zealot micro, keeping them away from the Dark Templar, making the Dark Templar run around very slowly while the Dragoons have a field day in the back. Actually Draco finishes ahead in this battle, trying to target those Dark Templars, White-rA. And we just have a little skirmish here. And it looks like... White-rA has had enough. He's just going to move Dark Templar right into the natural of Draco and target these probes. Zealots and Dark Templar, 4 Zealots, 2 Dark Templar taking out these probes. Draco is not reacting, not moving his army back. Meanwhile, he's just trying to attack these Dragoons. It doesn't look like he's realized now he's running probes, but he is just taking probe losses after probe loss. We can see his supply is out of 123 while he only has 63 supply. Units in the main now just cutting up Draco's probes. We're going to have to see how many kills this Dark Templar gets. It's at 5 now. And Draco is actually getting killed on every front, and he GG's. Wow.
Wow, it's right. White-rA used his DTs just to perfection that game. I mean, he dropped 2 DTs in the main while running 1 to the natural. Got 20 kills right off. Draco around the map. Draco looked like he may hold off for a little bit with his DTs of his own. Because, you know, they do 40 damage. Who knows who made that happen, but okay. 40 damage it is. And but White-rA finds his observer, goes right back in with his remade units, and with a much higher economy, just kept pumping. Really brilliant play there by White-rA. And he takes the lead in this series 2-1 over Draco.
Yeah, I think that Dark Templar that ran into the natural was the game breaker. I mean, the 2 Dark Templar in the main kind of got handled fairly easily. The observer came out pretty quickly, not too many probes lost there. But that one that came into the natural just basically threw everything off. Draco only had 1 observer. It was very difficult to split it between the 2 positions that he had to defend, and that was really the game breaker. And then, I mean, all credit to White-rA by just riding out his advantage to victory. I mean, that was really strong play by him after the Dark Templar paid off.
It really seemed like Draco overextended himself after that harass, though. He took his mineral only after losing 20 probes. I was kind of shocked to see that.
You know, again, if I had to guess, I don't know what Draco is thinking, of course. You know, I'm not some amazing Protoss pro gamer, but I think he thought, you know, I'm so far behind, I have to take a risk to catch back up, and maybe that's just the type of risk he decided on, rather than, you know, some sort of unit all-in attack.
Very true. The fourth game is just about ready to go, and the going to be Zodiac. This was a randomly chosen map after the initial 3-map, this is the fourth of the 4 Razer TSL maps. Othello, if necessary, will be the next one. Zodiac is a map from the last season of the Korean Star Leagues, but it was very well received, and it's been an enjoyable map to watch so far. So Hotbid, let's get this going. Game 4, let's go.